Have you ever wondered why your document numbers suddenly jump? It's probably one of the most common questions we get, and the answer isn't what you might think. It has nothing to do with an error, and everything to do with performance.
So does this look familiar? One day you're at invoice 1001, and the very next day you see 1021. Your first thought is probably, uh-oh, something's broken. Where did those 20 numbers in between just vanish? But what if I told you this is actually the system working exactly the way it's supposed to?
So let's answer that big question. Where did the numbers go? Well, the short answer is they were basically sacrificed for speed. And no, this isn't a bug. It's actually a key feature of any high-performance system. The technical term for this is main memory buffering. Now, instead of making the system go all the way to the database to grab a single number every single time, which is really slow, it grabs a whole block of them at once. It fetches, say, 20 numbers and keeps them in its super fast memory, just ready to go. Okay, that might still sound a little abstract, so let's use a simple analogy to really help visualize how this whole thing works. I want you to imagine a really busy deli counter. Instead of the person behind the counter running back to the ticket roll for every single customer, what do? They just tear off a big strip of 20 tickets at the start of their shift. It just makes things so much faster for everyone waiting in line. All right, so if the system has this whole strip of tickets ready to go, why does some of them get lost? Well, there are a couple of really common reasons for this. First up, a server restart. Let's say the system gets an update or just reboots overnight. Any of those unused tickets that were just sitting in memory, they get tossed out. They're just gone. And second, you've got multiple users. If you have different people working on different servers, each of those servers grabs its own batch of numbers. So naturally, they're not going to be used in a perfectly straight line. And that right there is number skipping. It's not an accident. It's a deliberate design choice to make sure the system stays incredibly fast, even if it means not having a perfectly neat sequence of numbers. When you boil it all down, it really comes to a necessary trade-off. Do you want speed, or do you want a perfect sequence? This chart really lays it all out. With buffering turned on, you get an extremely fast system, but yeah, you might skip some numbers. Now, if we turned buffering off just to get that perfect sequence, well, the entire system would slow to a crawl, especially during busy times. It would be like everyone waiting in a huge digital line just for the next number. So for the health of the entire business and for everyone who has to use the system, the choice is pretty clear, right? A fast, smooth, responsive system for everyone is way more important than a perfectly ordered number sequence. So from now on, when you see a gap in the numbers, I want you to think something different. Don't think error, think efficiency. Number skipping isn't a sign that something is broken. It's the sign of a healthy, high-performance system that's working hard to keep the business moving as fast as possible.